It's really, really dark. There's no moon tonight, and I'm hiking up in the hills, and I can see one glimmer of light. Can you see that? And that's where I'm headed. That's a Buddhist temple up in the village of Hirasawa here in central Japan. And those lights that you see are the lights along a steep stairway that runs from the bottom of the temple to the temple, the main temple, a Kanan shrine, Kanan temple at the top. So I'm going to go up there and climb those stairs. But first I have to get up there. I haven't got a flashlight and it's absolutely pitch black. I'm walking beside a river. I can hear the river down there, but I can't see. I can see almost nothing. So I've been very slow going. I should have brought a flashlight with me. So I'll continue now and hopefully get up there without falling in the river. I'll report back as soon as we get up there. Here we go. Still can't see much of anything. I happen to notice that I'm by a bridge. I'll turn the night vision on so you can see. Kind of illuminate. That's the concrete of a bridge that goes across the river here. You see just the edge of it, just goes over the edge there. It's kind of spooky here because on the other side of that bridge is a really, really dark forest. And there's a big cave up there. And the cave is really spooky in itself. So it's kind of spooky to be on the edge here. Let me see if I can just go across the bridge a little bit without falling in. And there's big trees. We hear water on the bridge. This is really spooky. Let's get over to the other side. I'm on the edge of a really dark forest. Let's see if I can see anything at all. Can you see some branches? Yeah, there's some branches. I'm on the edge of a forest, and now there's a trail that goes up here to a very, very dark forest and a cave. I won't go up that way. I'm going to continue towards the temple. A little too spooky for my taste. Thank you very much. Let's keep on going. While I'm walking along, it's really dark. And I have to be careful not to fall off the edge into the river. I just want to tell you a little bit about what I'm seeing. I can't share it with you because it's too dark. But the stars are above. I can see the stars above me. I'm delighted with the sight of the Pleiades, the seven sisters, little birthplace of nursery of young stars. I can see the constellation Orion. I can see the red supergiant Betelgeuse, however you say its name. I can see the blue supergiant Rigel. Absolutely stunning. It's really gives me some perspective as I walk along this narrow little road deep in the mountains, looking up at wonderful, beautiful stars so far away. The temple's up ahead. Should be there in about 10 minutes, if I can keep this pace. So I'll turn the camera back on when we get up there. See you in a minute. I'm much closer to the temple now. There are the lights leading up the hill. It's just up ahead here. Let's go see. Here we are at the entrance to the temple, along this lonely street. Let's walk up and see. I think there's a security light at the entrance here. There may be more than one that may flick on as we walk up. Let's go see. Wow. You can get a glimmer of the lights that we were seeing earlier going up the hillside there. You get a glimpse of it. And the Jizo statue over here. Let's go see. That light may flick on any moment. But yeah, let's turn our night vision on. This particular Jizo is a Mizuko Jizo for children. You can see that it's holding a baby in one arm. It has children clustered around the Jizo's feet. It's interesting how many cultures have the idea of a halo. And here's a little spot where you can light a candle. There's an incense burner and candles. Let me go ahead and try. Typically, the best way to do this is to light the candles first, and then use the candles to light the incense. There we go. Turn the night shot off. And then I'll grab 2 sticks of incense. There we go. Now I was taught that the best way to take the fire off the incense is to wave it, not to blow it. There we go. We've got our 2 sticks going. Place it in here. There we go. We'll go ahead and blow the candles out as we leave. There we go. Okay, let's go up. That light should flick on. There it is. Blinding light. Now as we pass through the gate here, there are the temple guardians we can see on either side. Let's put the light on. If you've seen my recent video called A Humble Offering, you will see the same statue. This is the statue that someone had left some chestnuts for the figure. There are 2 figures here. These are the, I believe they're called the Myo Kings. I can never pronounce it right. And I think these 2 are perhaps brothers. I think I'm mixing my terms up. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe that these figures are represented as brothers who once protected the historical Buddha as he traveled. One is represented with his mouth open here, and the other, his companion, is always represented with his mouth closed. Let's see if we can see his face. Can you see it there? Just barely see that his mouth is indeed closed. Can you see that? And the idea of the open and closed mouth indicates sounds that they're uttering, which are symbolic of the beginning and end of the universe, or life and death. It's interesting to note that similar figures, a dog and lion statue, are seen outside Shinto shrines. This is a Buddhist temple, but you'll see these same types of figures outside Shinto shrines, and they have the same open and closed mouth, representing the same ideas of the origin and end of the universe. These white lanterns here, Chochin folding paper lanterns. Let's move on. More lanterns here. Whoops. Now this beam that I just tripped over, it represents the entrance to the temple. And you're supposed to step over these beams, not on them or trip over them as I just did. Now over here on this side we have a what appears to be a very old shrine or temple structure. This particular temple has both Shinto shrine and a temple mixed together, so sometimes it's hard to tell which is which. But you can see there's a statue here. Although my Night Shot Plus isn't quite going all the way in. Barely make out the face there. And some ofuda, some prayer plaques, I think, or maybe they're Buddhist. Doors are off the hinges, very old. This is indeed a very old temple. And here we have, again, an example of the mixture of Buddhism and Shinto. The figure in the middle there appears to be a Buddhist figure. However, the figures On either side, the one on the right and the one on the left are certainly the Shinto luck gods, Ibisu and Daikoku. You can see Daikoku standing here with his characteristic luck hammer holding in the air and standing on his rice bales. And typically Daikoku is accompanied by Ibisu and the patron luck god of fishermen, who's carrying a large sea bream in one hand there. I'm sorry I can't get it focused here. But it's interesting, that appears to be a Buddhist figure there. How we have a combination of Buddhist and Shinto figures represented together, very old statues. Let's continue on through the lanterns. We're in the temple itself now. Now this plaque here is a document that has a history of this temple. We're in Hirasawa, Japan, and you can see off in the distance, maybe you can just catch over there, see the glimmer of light? Can you see the light in the distance? That's Shizuoka City off over the hills. So we're up in the hills surrounding Shizuoka, and we're in the village of Hirasawa, which is not too far from where I live. It's a very old community, and old farming community. There are, I believe, is it 11 or 13 houses here. And this temple has long been a temple of pilgrimage for people from Shizuoka. We're about 5 kilometers from the historic old Tokaido Highway. So people traveling on the old highway would actually sometimes make a detour up to this temple. Pilgrimage, so to speak, to visit it. Now continuing on up. The main temple structure is over here. What you're hearing there is some mooring machinery from the household that's associated with this temple. Stone pagoda sort of thing. Now remember we saw the lights before going up the hillside? Here they are. Up to the main structure above. Let's continue walking. Now over here we have something interesting. Now I said before that I was probably mixing up my terms as regards gods and deities and the like. I tend to have a pretty scattered brain when it comes to those types of things, but I'll try my best. I'm pretty sure I know who this is, though. This is a waterfall, but it's nighttime, so there's no water flowing. But there's a statue up above. You can just make it out there. A figure with a sword. That's Fudo Mayo. I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who that is. He's one of the Mayo kings, and also called Fudo the Immovable. And basically, his resolve is such that he's basically immovable in the face of adversity. Now, I'm making a very simplified version of the description of his name. This Fudo the Immovable is actually representative of many things, has very deep meaning in many ways. Just giving a very basic sketch of this figure. But he also is portrayed with a sword that he subdues demons with, and he carries rope to tie them up. Here's a nice statue. I mentioned before about the halo in different cultures. Isn't it interesting also here? Appears to be a mother and a child. That theme seems to appear in different religions. There's a very lovely koi pond here. Let's see if we can catch any fish with visions of any of the fish with my night vision. I see a big koi right there. There it is. Big white one. Any more? Here it comes back. There it is. Oh. Any more? Oops. Sorry. I think I scared a fish there. Certainly gave me a scare. Okay, let's continue on up. Remember I said before that on this particular temple there's a Shinto shrine? There's one right there. This is the shrine Torii, and I think that if we pass through the Torii here, go into a little bow, we'll find a bona fide jinja. Right there. Let's see if we can zoom in. I'm having trouble getting my zoom to work, focus to work well tonight with this dim light. But this one seems better. Yep, a little shrine. There's the sakaki leaves, god tree leaves. Very nice. It's curious to me how Buddhism and Shintoism seem to coexist so well in Japan. Now we're going to go ahead and ascend these steps. If you've seen another video, it's been several years, an older video about a festival that took place up here a couple of years ago where Emily was seen in old style costume. These are the steps that I was ascending during that video when the priest stopped to talk to me. Basically almost exactly where I am here. But anyway, I was saying about Shintoism and Buddhism finding a happy coexistence in Japan. And it's a curious thing. When I talk to Japanese people about religion, most of them tell me that as regards Shinto, basically being Japanese means that you're Shinto. The Shinto religion is just a part of being Japanese. They take it as just a part of their life, and the steps that they move through in life involve Shinto rites and actions. In the past, traditionally, Japanese would be married by a Shinto priest and then buried by a Buddhist priest. Buddhism plays an intricate role for many aspects of life, particularly for burial and activities related to death. And it's also more of a day-to-day type of religion in some ways. People have a Buddhist altar in their homes, typically. Traditional families will, at least. I like looking at all the spiders on the lanterns here. And most of what I mean by day-to-day activities is that many Japanese will be involved with their household shrine on a daily basis, whereas they may only visit a Shinto shrine on big events like New Year's, weddings, and when they have a reason to seek guidance of spirits and the gods. Here we are, we've ascended the top. Wow, I'm not as windless as I thought I would be. You can see the lights down at the bottom where we started. Let's go ahead and zoom in there. And you can see the lights of Shizuoka City off in the distance. And here we are at the top. Another nice lantern. And now we're here. Turn the night shot vision on again. Very beautiful big lantern here. I love these old stone lanterns. It's especially nice, let me turn the light off again, to see the light shining through the little holes there. I think I really would have liked it back in the old days when candles would have been used to illuminate these beautiful old lanterns. It really makes me remember that I'm in Japan when I see these things. Here's a wheel of fortune, I believe. It's a new item. They added this about 2 years ago. And you spin this around, and I believe that the way that it ends up helps tell your fortune, I think. Displaying my ignorance. Wow, look at those beautiful eaves up there. Turn the night shot off for a second. You can see that. Got enough light. Beautiful carvings. Very dark here. There's probably another security light here. This is a saisenbako, or a collection box, and I'll go ahead and ascend the stairs here. And there's another light, and throw some money in the collection box. Let's throw some in. Ring the cord to the bell. Now, this particular temple is a temple to Kannon, the goddess of mercy. And there's a Kannon figure in here that is revealed to the public every 7 years. And that particular ceremony happened about 3 years ago. So we're due about 4 more years before we can see the statue again. I did make a video for that. It's on the website. Last time I was here. Oh, there goes the light again. Okay, let's head on down. here. There's a bell over here. Ooh, so dark. Can you see the big bell up there? It's a little hard to see. Climb a few of these stairs and take a closer look. Can you see it there? Big, big bell. Here it is. Wow. Look at the carvings on there, the figures on there. Looks like a goddess with a drum flying through the air. Old writing on the bell. Here's the striker. I hear this bell every day, or at least every day that I'm in the area. And they strike this bell at about 4:45 every afternoon, and you can hear the gong reverberating through the valley. I kind of consider it as the 5 o'clock bell. They strike it about 3 times, and it never ceases to amaze me, and I really enjoy hearing it. Now, call me chicken if you like. I'll take it. But usually I'm not too intimidated by things that go bump in the night. But just behind that lantern back there, there's what I would consider an abandoned cemetery. Yeah, this, like I said before, this is a very old temple, and many of the graves that have basically been forgotten. The families are gone, maybe the families have died out for whatever reason. The graves have been moved from the more contemporary cemetery down on the bottom of the hill to a deserted little stretch of forest beyond that lantern there. Actually, I didn't even know that cemetery was up there for years. I would be coming up here, and after I discovered, I was surprised to see it. There's just basically piled up old gravestones. I shouldn't say piled up. They've been very tastefully arranged, but they're basically collectively guarded by or watched over by a large religious figure. I think it's a Kannon figure. Anyway, it's up there in the woods behind that lantern. And as I was visiting and walking around the temple just now, I had it in my mind to go ahead and walk up there and take some video and show you some of the temple, some of the graves with my night shot. And as I started to walk up there, I'm not kidding, something big was moving up in the forest up there. And like I said, I don't intimidate easy, but when you're in a spooky old temple at night with no flashlight, and you decide to go have a look at the deserted graves up in the dark forest, and you hear something moving up there, well, I think that's my cue to go on home. Maybe I'll try again another night. However, now I have the pleasant task of walking all the way home without a flashlight, with the thoughts of Japanese ghosts and whatchamacallits in my mind. And to the Japanese, the association of graveyards with ghosts is a very long one. There are many, many types of ghosts and things that spooky things at night here in Japan. In Japanese mythology and in Japanese stories, Japanese love a good ghost story. And I like their ghost stories too, and I'm afraid I've read far too many of them for my own good interest. But I'm going to go ahead and walk on out of here now and head on home and try to keep a steady mind. There's the old statue of Fudo over there. Now just a few more steps and we'll be out. I like this old lantern here, this old light. Not a lantern, a light. I see this a lot in the villages here in Japan. These old open bulb units with the old tin or metal plate behind it. I love those. The more modern graveyard associated with this temple is right over here to my right. utterly in black right now. You can't see anything of the entrance. I just passed the entrance. I'll just peek in at the entrance here. You can't see anything. You turn the night shot on, maybe we can get something, get a glimpse of a gravestone. Or the crickets. This is spooky. Here we are. There's a gravestone. Now I'm definitely feeling a little bit uncomfortable being in the graveyard late at night. Yeah. Not so much for the feeling of spooks or ghosts, but just for the feeling of that I'm not being respectful to the families who have their families here, who are departed. One of the most important things about my time here in Japan is I don't want to be a negative. I don't want to make waves or cause problems for people. I just want to experience the culture, learn what I can, share it with you guys, and hopefully have a little fun in the process. Okay, there's the lights up there. Go ahead and head on out now. Oh, there goes that security light on again. There's our Jesus statue with the flag behind it. Here's our candles. We'll go ahead and turn these off. No sense in letting them burn down. You can see our incense is largely burned up. These, oops, supposed to wave them well. Oh, there we go. Okay. Back in. Oh, the incense looks interesting. Back, shadowed in darkness again. Let's see, there's the latch. There we go. Okay. Say bye-bye to Jesus-san. Thanks for joining me. I'm really glad you came along. I'm glad you stuck with me all the way to the end. This was kind of a fun outing. Come up here and see an old temple in the middle of the night. Now time to walk on back down. Take care for now. See ya.